Hey, I play that music all day, all day. So first and foremost, everyone, thank you for joining me today. I definitely appreciate it. So as you know, I'll be going live every day for the next 2 weeks until the masterclass on how to stop being underpaid and be able really to position yourself so that you can create the revenue you want and live the life that you desire. And I'm just excited to be here again today. Listen, I'm excited because I got a lot of great topics. But let me get some of the housekeeping out of the way, if that's okay with each one of you that's tuning in. Please be sure to share this. If you feel like it's of value to you, please let other people know about it so that they can get some nuggets, so that they can get some information that is going to propel them into the next part of their life. I'm a firm believer that when I attend anything, as long as I can get one thing, that will help position me to get anything. Okay? If you understand what I'm saying, say, heck yes, I get it, I get it, I understand it. Uche, it makes absolute sense. All right. So, first and foremost, everyone, today we're going to have a great conversation on the three must have for startups, especially for everyone who's out there thinking about doing a startup or you're doing one and it may not be going so well. I'm really just going to talk about the really three essential things. This does not include funding. That's not what I'm talking about here, but the core things that you really do need in order to really you must have for your startup. So for those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Uche Anye Maple. I provide leadership and professional development consulting to organizations that will help increase employee engagement and job satisfaction. I am also the founder of the Women Who Lead community, and our mission is to reach one, teach one about leveraging your gifts, abilities, and knowledge to gain financial independence and overall well being. So, welcome today. And I want to invite each one of you to attend our masterclass that we're going to have on April 26th, where we teach you how to leverage your knowledge, your skills, and abilities effectively so that you can live the life you want on your terms. How does that sound? So, for those of you who are tuning in, please let me know just city and state. Okay. Yeah, someone says the music is jamming. It is. That's the music. That's my music. That's my beat. Thank you for that. So just let me know where you, city and state, you are representing so that everyone knows that you're in the house, especially for anyone who is listening from out of the US. I am interested to know. And also, too, if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to post that. We definitely do provide that information. We definitely do respond. No one is left behind. And let me just say this I did get a couple of comments in terms of just earlier this week when I started this, why did I start with the overall mindset and all of that? And the reality is that before you do anything, you need to really have the mindset that you can do anything, right? That's the goal here. And what I wanted to do earlier was really tackle that in a way to let you know who are listening that when you are doing something different, when you're trying to live the life that you want to live, that in order for you to be able to move and do that, you have to have the mindset that nothing can stop you and that you can do anything with the one above. Yes, yes. So you got to have faith, not just in the one above, but also in yourself that you are equipped to get what you need. And in addition to that, you know who to get what you need. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. All right. So I'm going to be going back and forth. All right. Yes, representing. I see that. Thank you. I see Maryland is in the house. Come on. I know I got some Texas people in the house. Where are my Texans? Where are my Texans at? I know I got some New Yorkers in the house. Where are the New Yorkers at? Some Detroit. Where y'all at? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today. We're going to talk about what are the three must-haves when you are considering a startup. So first and foremost, during last year, I was watching this amazing podcast, and the host was interviewing Jeff Hoffman. And for those of you who don't know who he is, go and search him on the internet. because the man is legendary. But Jeff was talking about how he created the check-in kiosks at the airports that you see. So he was describing just the whole scene and scenario during this podcast. And he mentioned that one, he was standing in a long line just to get checked in. And I'm really trying to remember back then what it was like before the check-in kiosk. I can't remember. I think I remember, but I don't remember because we've had it for so long now. But he was talking about how he was standing in line for a long time and he actually missed his flight. And he was just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. So he was frustrated. So he said, he was asking people around him that, how annoying is it to stand in line to wait to check in, right? And he also asked them, here's what I thought was great. Would you pay to skip this line? And the answer was yes. So he was solving a real problem that he was standing in that moment. He designed the automated kiosk for printing onboarding passes in airports. And what I thought was phenomenal on that was not only did he ask, would you be annoyed? He also asked, would you be willing to pay? Which is key, especially when you're doing this, when you are thinking about a startup. The first thing is that focus on the pain points for others. Do not be so in love with your idea that you don't see that the concept itself is not viable. A lot of times I get it, people like follow your passion, find your purpose. And that is true. You could absolutely do all of that. But I think what we believe is that if we follow what we're passionate about because we're in love with it, that it's automatically going to equal a monetary or financial gain. And that's not true. Your purpose and passion will equal fulfillment, but it does not mean that there's going to be a financial advantage to that. Does that make sense, everybody? So you want to make sure you focus on real pain points for others, and it may be something that you're in. Oftentimes, what I have seen as a person who started her own startup, I actually started three, was that the resistant to ask questions, the resistant to ask people, what are your problems? When I was in college, we used to talk all the time. When we would do something, especially with my sorority, in terms of, what would people look for? Do we want to have like a nacho sale and all that stuff? People like, yeah, because after practice, I was in the band, people will be hungry. So if you had food or even drinks, people were going to buy it because on their way out of the band hall, they were going to purchase it. So it's something to think about is what are the real problems and pain points? And you really need to ask people. It has nothing to do with you. If you can solve a problem that's going to make someone else's life better, that's how you're positioning yourself to have financial gain. This is what I heard. I can't remember where. They said if you can always be the problem solver, you will never have to work for money in anything that you do. Let me know your thoughts on that. I'm interested to know your thoughts. So that's the first pain point. First thing is focus on the pain points for others. Do not be in love with your idea so much that the concept itself is not financially profitable. So the second thing is when you're focusing on customer acquisition and retention. So here's the thing. So 1 year ago, my partner decided that we're going to start our rental car business. And what was great about that was that, my partner was interested in cars. He loved cars. And here's the thing. This is what I just finished talking about it. He loves cars. But that doesn't mean that you just go buy cars, right? What's the problem you're solving? And what we realized was that at the airport, there were always long lines. How many of you have gotten a car at the airport and when you get there, you got to wait in line? Or even if you have, like you're in these rewards programs And maybe sometimes when you go out there, they don't have a car for you. Like it's frustrating. And then it got really worse during the last 2 years, right? So now it's just like insane. So one of the things that we realized was that, hey, would it be nice when people when people land, that, they have immediate access? Who wouldn't want that? So we just came up with this concept in terms of how we can give people immediate access. And once you can define that process and that framework and that methodology on how you can get that done, now you have a way where you can always get clients. And the way that you retain them, right, is just how they are experiencing you, experiencing your product at first interaction. It is very important the first time that your customer meets you to the time that they drop off or no longer in need of your product. How has that experience been for them? Because if it's a great experience, they're going to keep coming back. How many of you have? So here's, I love, and I am not affiliated with them, but I love Bath and Body Works candles. Like I'm always looking every day, like what do they have on sale? Because one candle fills up my entire house. It smells amazing, and it lasts for a long time. So whenever I get and also too, just the experience of how it looks and how it smells, and when I open it up and it's a 3-week, I'm like, this is amazing. It's an experience. And I keep coming back. And they know that. So my comment to you is that when you are, you have to focus on the customer acquisition, and then you have to figure out how to retain them. Now I'm going to give you about 3 key steps that's involved in the customer acquisition process. So make sure you write this down, okay? What I'm going to be giving you is some of the things that we actually do in my Business Growth Accelerator program. It's a 6-week program that you enroll in it, and we go through these things so that when you come out of there, you know exactly what all these steps are, what they mean, and how beneficial they are for you. So the first one is that you really need to identify your target audience. We hear people say that. What does that mean? As a startup, you really should begin defining your target audience based on age, gender, location, interest, behavior. What do they like? Are they married? Are they not? Where do they go? Do they like coffee? Do they like tea? Like, you really need to make sure that you have a target and understanding what they want, because this information can help you create different types of marketing messages that resonates with your audience, and it will increase your chance of attracting the potential clients. You want to speak their language, pretty much, and you want to be in the vicinity of where they are. So where is that? Are you paying attention to that? Because oftentimes we think we just have a product and we just put it out there and everyone should buy it. Oh, I'm marketing this. Oh, because I have this many followers. But if it's not resonating, it is not sustainable. It's cute at first, but it's not sustainable. So you got to make sure that you identify your target audience. And you really need to make sure you know who they are, where they are, what they like, so that you can use the language that they use. The second thing is you want to make sure that you have developed a marketing plan. Because once you've identified them, the next step is you got to figure out what channels and what tactics you're going to use to reach them and engage with your audience. We know that, of course, some of the channels are social media, email marketing. You got to make sure you have a great SEO, and then also paid advertising. Now, those are some of the way. Definitely word of mouth, right? Referrals. I am a firm believer that, it's cool to have referrals, but referrals should not be your default in terms of how successful you're going to be. You got to make sure you're marketing. And then the third thing is that you need to make sure that you have some type of compelling offer. When you're trying to attract potential clients, you really need to offer them something that they're going to value. What do they value? Do they value luxury? Do they value conveniency? Do they value real-time conversation with you versus just an automated system? What do they value that's going to make what you offer so compelling and alluring that they're just going to be there and like, okay, here's my money. Right? So some things could be a discount, a free trial, a demo, incentives, especially if they buy your products. You can give them a discount the next time they go back. Or you really just want something to encourage them to take action, to try your product for free. So the question is that when you are offering something, you're considering a startup, what kind of compelling offer are you going to create for them? So the goal is by really understanding your target audience and developing a marketing plan and really creating an offer, a compelling offer, you really are going to increase your chances of attracting the right clients, being able to retain them. And then what happens is that you're converting them from potential clients into loyal paying clients. Does that make sense? And let's be clear, you're not going to know how to do all of this as I'm talking live. This is a repetitive process. It takes time, right? But the goal is that you have an idea. And right now, if you want to do anything right now, the idea that you have, go and ask 10 people, go and do a focus group. Just do a focus group and see how viable your offer is. They'll tell you immediately. Don't be afraid, ask, get some questions and ask them. Okay, so the third must-have for startups is that you really need to have an agile approach to your business. You got to be flexible. You got to make sure that you have a process so that you can, it's not so rigid and bended and there's no room to make changes because you're going to be experimental because it's something new. You're trying to figure out how it works. And you're also learning continuously. I was just talking to my sister today. I was trying to create a video ad because I'm doing paid advertising for the masterclass, paid advertising. And I was telling her, I was like, I'm so tired of learning so much stuff. She was like, well, that's just part of the process. And I'm like, I went to college. I got a couple of degrees. I think I'm okay. But new levels means new knowledge, means new information. So what I have come to realize as you know, having done 3 startups, two of them now one was successful, but I stopped it. The other 2 are going pretty good. Is that there is so much you're going to learn every time you do it. And it is so beneficial because you meet so many people and it's like you're emerging and adding more tools inside of your toolbox that you never had before. I can honestly tell you that the state of where I am now compared to where I was 3 years ago is like 3,000% increase. And I can't even imagine where I will be next. I did start my business when I was working. And I was doing it I was a small percentage, right? So I was just, it was something I was doing, 25%, and I was still pretty good at it. But I knew that, and I thought I was amazing. But when I retired at 44, I was like, I cannot believe this is a lot of information. So now I have so much respect for people who are taking chances, people who are betting on their amazing ideas, people who are doing startups, people who are becoming entrepreneurs, even the small business owner. It is not for the faint of heart. But what I have come to realize is that there is nothing more alluring knowing that I am using my gifts, my talents, my knowledge, my expertise to help others have a better quality of life. That is phenomenal. And they so happen to pay for it, right? Because again, you do want financial independence, you want financial security. and you really want to have a better well-being. And I know because you guys have told me this, is that you're looking to have freedom of your time. So here's what I will say to you. For those of you who are interested, you have an amazing idea, you have clients, people are asking you to do something. You're like, Uche, I just don't know where to start. I want you to start by signing up for the masterclass. You need to be, the reason why I founded Women Who Leap, LEAP stands for Leadership, Entrepreneurship, and Purpose. The reason why I founded this community was because the biggest thing that we need is community. You need to know you're not alone. And when I started my journey in anything that I did, in college, I had a community. When I first started my job, I had community. When I first had my kid, I had community. When I first got my leadership role, I had community. Like every step of the way, you have community. And it's very lonely to do something alone. So I started Women Who Leap, and inside of it was to build community. And as a result of building community, people were like, hey, how did you retire? How were you able to do this? Which is how I was able to create the business growth accelerator for new businesses. But the first start that I'm going to actually do is to sign up for the masterclass. We're going to have an amazing time. We're going to be talking about a lot of amazing things that you will never be the same. And one thing I do know is that every time you bet on yourself and you take that leap, you are never the same. So give yourself the gift. Don't stay the same. Give birth to this amazing idea for your startup. Take the leap and sign up for the class, the masterclass. Okay. So again, thank you for joining me. I've had an amazing time. And again, I'll be here at 3:00 tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about one of my very passionate things is why women in STEM are pretty much leaving the field. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this for tomorrow, you got to join me so you can find out why. Everyone, have a great day. It's beautiful outside, and see you tomorrow. Bye.